portraits of Tel Aviv, the white city, a city that was resolutely looking forward, unlike Jerusalem, which was resolutely looking backwards. I thought it was just a really intelligent, interesting novel, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Good. Mark, what have you been reading?
Well, I hesitate to say this, but a friend recommended a book that appeared on the Art Bell show called The Spiritual Traveler, and it's about Sai Baba, who someone is claiming is the new Antichrist, and we were giggling about it, and I'm not making fun of Sai Baba, who has a great following, and I can understand why. So I thought, well, Art Bell, I'll read this book, and I believe it's by Mick Brown. And I'll tell you, I went to this with a chuckle, but I'm going to India. Probably in the fall. I have done northern India before as a result of reading Passage to India, and which is a brilliant book, by the way, second recommendation, I guess. But I am so taken by the ashram trail that, and this man's reporting on it, and the book has been written in the last 4 or 5 years, I believe, that it's irresistible. I can't wait. And I didn't really come expecting to talk about another travel book, but The Spiritual Traveler is just, Spiritual Tourist, excuse me, Mick Brown, is just an extraordinary book about that sort of whole Indian ashram culture and how it's affected us in the West.
Interesting. Yeah. Oh, great. And the latest on my list is Waiting by Ha Jin. It is a novel that is set in contemporary, well, not contemporary China in the late 1960s, and it won the National Book Award last year, I believe. It's a very interesting novel that I think it's the first one that I have read that really kind of tries to look at the emotional side of the Cultural Revolution, and it's the story of a doctor who is assigned to a hospital far from his home. He only sees his wife 12 days a year, and he falls in love with a young nurse at the hospital, and it is all about the two of them waiting until they can be married. And I thought it was just a lovely book. I read it with my book club, and we thoroughly enjoyed it and thoroughly enjoyed discussing it afterwards. So if you're looking for a good book for your book club, I would definitely recommend that one.
And a good book to read in conjunction with Rivertown, by the way. It
exactly.
explains many things
about
Rivertown.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. Well, that's about all the time we have for today. Thank you so much, my guest, Nancy Pearl, Director of the Center of the Book at the Seattle Public Library, Mark Kernaghan, avid traveler and reader. Thanks so much for being with me today. And thank you for being with us today at Book Talk. We'll see you next time. And now we
No.
Okay. Jerome says we need to do the ending.
just do the ending?
Right from, that's
Me?
about just the end. That's
Okay.
about all the time we have.
Okay.
And then we need to get cutaways.
The grinning,
Everybody, so.
smiling and nodding.
I forgot about the grinning.
Not
Yeah.
talking.
The grinning, not talking. We're so bad at
But it was
that.
good.
Good. Yeah, I thought it was great. We just steamed right through.
You want to give me a countdown? On the end? You want to just have a start? You're still running tape.
I read this book very fast. I just zipped through it. I don't know why it was so.
90 minutes.
I know.
It just boom.
Three shot?
It was because it was so chatty.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
I love the part where she shows her passport and the guy won't believe her because he says women don't live that long.
Yes. I also love the part where she had to say she was a widow.
Right.
Sharon, will
Yes.
you start?
Okay, saying goodbye? Okay. That's about all the time that we have today. I want to thank my guests for being with me today. Nancy Pearl, Director of the Center of the Book at the Seattle Public Library. Mark Kernaghan, avid traveler and reader. Thank you so much for being part of the discussion. And thank you for joining us today on Book Talk. We'll see you next time. We did really good on time.
Did we?
Yeah. It's not 5:26.
I know.
Thank you. You may feel like that. Nancy.
Okay, so Sharon talking to Nancy. So these are.
I will talk to
Nancy.
Um,
So Nancy,
there's a book.
just look interested.
Okay,
I'm
there's a
always
book.
interested.
There's a book that I've been asked to get for my 6th grade son's teacher who's teaching poetry, and it's called The Rose is Red or something like that. Do you know that book? Okay, good. You can tell me because I've got to go up to the library and get it after this. Oops.
No, so not.
Okay.
Okay.
No nodding. Okay,
Just looking.
we'll just look.
I got it away.
See, I wish we had more time to travel. We don't have all that time. We have these 2 children that still don't want to go to China. Or I don't want to pay for them to go to
Okay, now
China.
we're getting Mark. So,
The book is called Rose, How Did You
Sharon
Get That
talking to
Red?
Mark
Okay.
looks towards Sharon first.
By Kenneth
Mark?
Koch, K-O-C-H.
Kenneth Koch. Okay, good. K-O-C-H. Rose,
He-
how did you get that
Or
red?
Where Did You Get That Red? Something like that. He has 2.
Yeah,
It's on teaching poetry to children.
right.
Or working
Now
with.
Mark nodding. Rattle, rattle, rattle.
And do you have a copy of When I Lived in Modern Times that we could take a picture of?
No, I
No.
checked it out of the library.
Oh, okay. So.
But it's brand new. I mean, Elliot Bay should have it.
Okay, I'll go borrow
And
a
I have
couple.
waiting for you.
Oh, you do? Great. And Spiritual Tourist?
Mark,
Would you have one?
Mark talking to, sorry, I have my.
Mark talking to
what?
Nancy?
Mark talking to Nancy.
So you're gonna get Nancy or Mark?
Get Nancy.
Nancy nodding.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Mark
I was gonna-
talk, Nancy
I was
nod.
going to show you the inscription that Bill Bryce.
Oh, I looked at it actually. I thought,
What
oh,
did it say?
lucky you. But I disagree with both of you. I think that you always, it's not you don't have time to travel, you make time to travel.
No.
There is no excuse for not traveling. Just nod, because now you're forced to nod at this one, whether you like it or not.
Nancy talked to Mark.
Agoraphobia, my dear, agoraphobia.
Really?
Yes, a touch of agoraphobia.
You do?
I
Oh
do.
my God, I can't believe it.
I know.
Talk, Mark.
Oh,
We're taking
sorry.
you- We're taking you looking at Nancy, that's right.
Yeah. I just sort of realized. I mean, it was just sort of diagnosed as
Looked like
Crowds?
Isn't that
Is
interesting?
that crowds? Fear of crowds?
leaving,
Fear of leaving.
leaving home, or all that leaving stuff.
Oh.
It's really very interesting because I do all this stuff for my job. I mean, I travel all the
Yeah.
time.
Lost track too.
Where are you
So,
going? Where are you going
I'm
this
going
weekend?
to
Okay.
Detroit.
Excuse me, Mark. looked at
Thursday.
Sharon, and Sharon's listening? And
Sharon keeps, her earring keeps getting caught
Sharon's
on her
got a-
sweater.
So
Sorry.
I go to Detroit to
Mark,
give a talk.
Sharon, look at Mark.
Oh, okay.
And
You
just
keep
as if
talking.
you're listening to Mark.
Mark.
Well,
You're
I'm
so
going to tell you
inter-
the same thing I told her. There's no excuse not to take your children traveling, whether they want to or not.
I'm
They'll
gonna-
become bigger and more experienced in the ways of the world, and you'll be glad you did it because they'll get to college and they'll say, I remember that. My mother took me there. And they'll get A's and you'll get scholarships, and you'll say, paying for those trips paid off.
That's
Nancy,
true.
your turn to
That's
talk
true.
to Sharon.
I do.
So Sharon, now you're just looking at.
Oh, I
Okay,
get to
so
talk
where
to
are you
Sharon.
going?
So I'm going to Detroit this week, and then I come back and go to Spokane for a day or day and a half, and then I come back and then I go to Louisville to do a talk to the Kentucky Library Association. Then I come back for a week. Then I go to Kalispell to go to the Montana Library Association.
A month?
No,
Oh,
a
that's
day.
Monday.
No. And then I'm going to Reno and Las Vegas in the middle of May.
Wow.
So it's just a whole bunch of traveling,
Okay.
which is not.
Jerome
Well,
wants to
other
take
than
one of
Kalispell,
Nancy
I
and
can
Mark.
understand your fear of leaving home.
I would like to go to
Nancy.
Kalispell.
For the intro, he wants to just get a straight-on shot of you nodding, Mark, and then Nancy and I looking
Look
at
at me
Sharon.
and
This will be
nodding.
for the
This is gonna be
intro.
like I
She
say.
sits
And
here,
Nancy
she- we're gonna
Pearl.
cut it in.
Who's first?
Just
And
nod
Mark
slightly.
Kernigan.
That's good. You're Mark, we know
You're
that.
Mark.
You said nice things about cultural imperialism.
I
Yes,
did.
That's okay. That's it.
Did we get that, or was he
You
laughing
want
too
to get
much?
more? Was that enough or not? Good.
Another nod. And Mark Kernigan.
Kernigan, begin again.
Nancy, the same.
And Nancy Pearl.
Just a second. Just wait. Do it. Now do it.
And
Now-
Nancy
now
Pearl.
here's Nancy.
Yeah, she's Nancy. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
As Sergeant
Good.
Preston used to say.
I'm gonna just look at this. Perfect.
Excellent.
So what did he say to me?
He said for Nancy.
All very best wishes.
But I did notice it was inscribed, and I said,
See how she's looking now? Look, not so much, right there, right there. Oh. You see what I'm saying? Have
Yeah.
you turn her a little bit?
Yeah.
And just
yes, let's all just go
Let's
like
turn
this. Let's just all go like this.
Cheat her chair just a little bit towards us, a little bit.
Cheat or chair?
Towards the door.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then look at,
Look at me and say,
Hi.
hi.
So turn our
And
head to the left a little bit.
turn your head to left.
Right,
Okay.
right there. Hold the nod now.
There you go. Yeah.
Ain't TV grand.
Isn't it?
All right.
Good.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, sorry, I have to run.
No, that's okay. I'm gonna run up.
And we want to do that because I think for us to have this day and not have a youth speak, I think that kind of would kind of close the whole event. And if Mimi, because I think we need to have a kind of a perspective from the youth that we're assisting.
Okay. Hi, I'm Mimi Maru, and I am one of the students that was working with the CTC program over the summer. And it was really interesting and fun because I didn't really know much about computers until LaVersa Sullivan came in and taught a couple of us students at Yesler Community Center. And it was a good experience. It was fun. It was kind of hard, you know, getting along with everybody and waiting for things to actually happen and waiting for somebody's word, waiting for Bill to tell us we're going to do this and we're going to do that. We had to sit around a little bit sometimes, but it was okay. We made the best of it. I would like to say thank you to all the students that I worked with for helping me, and John and Ryan and Michael, Hal, everybody out there. It was fun working with you guys, and I hope to do something like this again next summer. And we worked on Chinese Information Service Center and New Holly, South Park, and also Yesler Community Center, which Yesler is looking forward for the new lab. I think that's about it I have to say. I don't really have much to say. And I'd just like to say thank you for everybody being here and hearing me out. And one more.
I know you can sound perfect, didn't you?
One last thing. I would like to say Amasaganado, which means thank you in my language, to LaVersa Sullivan for being there, and Charles Humphrey back there. And that's it. Thank you.
There's one more thing that we want to do, and if our corporate partners, if you wouldn't mind coming back up, please, to the front. And the reason I'm having you up here, and also Denise was here. Denise? Thank you. And this is kind of a start of a tradition. This is our first celebration, and this is our first plaque. And what we wanted to do for each site is to have a plaque to commemorate the event. And what it says is the Seattle Community Technology Alliance South Park Community Center Computer Lab, a recognition for outstanding commitment to lifelong learning, and then has the funds provided by U.S. Department of Education, AT&T Broadband, Cisco Systems, Gateway, Microsoft, September 2000. Information technology supporting civic participation and healthy community development. And Denise, if you come here and receive the plaque, and the reason the corporate department is here, because I think the plaque wouldn't have been possible, or the whole process wouldn't have been possible without the corporate partners.
Thank you. Yeah, ready to close. Pass, you can hear. This is a little better. I brought this young lady to my left up here. Her name is Sue Kershaw, and she's a longtime resident of South Park, and she's been our advisory council chair for over 8 years, and she supported this effort along with other efforts that we have here. So I'd like to publicly recognize Sue for all the work she's done for this community, especially for technology. Let's give her a hand. I'd also like to take a moment at this time to thank the volunteers who came here to bring you all the delicious low-cal goodies over there. So I'd like to recognize Mariela Mejia on the coffee and beverage area. Could you please come forward? Thank you. Mariela? Tina Rogers and Ines Camacho, por favor. These three ladies have helped a lot to bring this program to a closure here today. They've been instrumental in the last year in being part of our computer lab. They are enrolled in college for the first time at South Seattle Community College this fall, and they have assisted us in many fundraisers in the last year to the net profit over $2,200. So let's give them a hand and their friends for all their help. So I'd like to thank everybody, and there's plenty of goodies. We're going to show a 10-minute video. You're more than welcome to watch that. Go down to see the computer lab, mix and mingle, ask questions, and come back and visit South Park or any of the other great computer labs that everybody's working so hard on. Have a great afternoon.
Welcome to this edition of Seattle Insight. I am your host, Natasha Jones. Today we're going to be talking about childcare resources in the city of Seattle. We're going to speak with some experts about what you need to know when you get ready to pick quality childcare. My first guest today is First Lady of the City, Sharon Nichols. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Now you have two children who are not really little children anymore. They're all grown up, but tell us a little bit about your experiences picking childcare when they were younger.
It's a nerve-wracking thing to go out looking for the first time when you're looking for someone to take care of your child at home when you want to be there and you can't. Mm-hmm. And so we had an opportunity to go out looking at childcare and found an in-home situation in the beginning for Jake, and then moved him to a childcare center when he was 1.
What were you looking for when you looked at different centers, whether home care or more organized facilities?
Looking for someone that was compatible with.
No.
It's okay.
You guys had a good conversation going.
I know. What happened?
It's Natasha's fault.
Yeah.
It was, I think, with the open. We didn't cut away.
I heard the music still going. I thought, well, I'm there. Huh?
Yeah, no, it's not your fault.
Hey, who did the set? Who did the set?
Rose and Cynthia.
That's very nice.
That's very
I like
nice.
Where the Wild Things Go. That's an excellent one. This is lovely.
It's my 3-year-old's favorite book
Is it?
because he is a wild thing.
Yeah.
He runs around the house. I'm
Yeah.
a wild thing.
Yeah.
And you encourage that, don't you?
Yeah. Good Night Moon. That's like a classic book, Good Night Moon, isn't it? I've never read that one, but
The Velveteen Rabbit is my favorite.
yeah, that one's classic
Having-
as well. Oh, there's Velveteen Rabbit, kind of.
Kind of a well-loved bunny.
Yeah. I used to have one of those. They, you know, when you have sleep. Oh, alrighty. Welcome to this edition of Seattle Insight. I'm your host, Natasha Jones. Today we're going to be talking about child care resources in the city of Seattle. We'll talk with some experts later on to give us some insight into what parents need to know before they start looking for quality child care. My first guest today, though, is First Lady of the City, Sharon Nichols. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you've got 2 children. They're not little children anymore. They're in college. But what was it like for you when you were looking for a child care program when they were little?
It was important for us to find someone for Jake that was sort of compatible with the way Jake or Greg and I were. And when you're looking for someone for childcare, you're looking for someone that's going to be comfortable with your kids.
Mm-hmm. You were both working parents at the time, right?
Yes.
That is a situation lots of people find themselves in now. What did you look for in the centers rather? Did you look for home care or a more organized facility?
When we found out we were having Jake, we got on a waiting list right away because there were several child care centers, but waiting lists, and Jake was not, had to be a year old before he could get into the center. So we did an in-home situation for a year first and then put him in the center.
Did you have to have like a certain feeling? Some people say they walk into a center and they just knew it wasn't right, or they just knew it was right. Was that your experience?
We just knew it was right. It was a center that provided long-term care in a sense that there were rooms for the 1-year-olds and the rooms for the 2-year-olds, and so that you knew that Jake could grow up in a center like that and provide and get some good child care.
Once they reached a little bit older in age, I know it's different finding child care for very little children versus 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Were they in child care for that long span of time?
We were lucky enough to get into the Fauntleroy Children's Center in West Seattle, and it provided at one point it provided infant care all the way up till age 12. And so Jake stayed until he was 10 and Carrie stayed till she was about 12.
When you talk with folks now, as you're out about in the city and talk with new mothers or mothers of young children, are you surprised that, or I guess do you find that they're facing the same challenges you did 10, 12 years ago?
Exactly. They're looking at issues of cost, and they're looking at issues of convenience for where their children are going to go, and they're looking for a program where they're high quality teachers and consistency in the programs.
If you could give a couple of pieces of advice to some of those young mothers or folks who may be planning to have children in the near future, what would you tell them to look for?
The experience that Greg and I had with Fauntleroy Children's Center, I would wish on anyone in the sense that it provided consistency for Jake and Carrie. They started at an early age. They had before and after school child care. They had teachers that have been there for 10 and 15 and 20 years. Wow. That received, the teachers provided with a good salary, and they had benefits, and I think that then helps the kids for consistency.
So the parents really need to sort of take a proactive role, it sounds like.
Yes, and if you can find a center where parent involvement is important as well.
Excellent, good tips. We're going to get some more of those coming up in our next segment as we talk with some folks who are involved with the city's efforts at getting resources to parents of young children and older children. We'll talk with them coming up in just a moment, but thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We'll take a quick break and come right back.
Projects to affect child care teacher education and a variety of other issues.
Okay, so you guys are working to kind of increase the options for parents.
Provide information and resources to parents and caregivers to support children, and to make sure that all people in the community know what children need in order to thrive.
Okay, alrighty, and Deborah can speak to the you said the training of teachers to
aspects of quality care.
Okay.
So what do you look for if you're looking for high quality care?
Okay.
And in that I'll be talking about
reading it like this.
Of course, what we're wearing won't work. You have to go buy new outfits.
It's true. So, and we should be looking at each other as opposed to at a camera somewhere.
We're just talking amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
I like to think of this as kind of my living room, and this is a dinner party, but we have no food.
So we're all starving.
Yeah, exactly.
So how long do you want to run this again?
This one will be 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
You get that?
To keep track of. Do you know how long the first segment went? Was it about 2.5?
It was about
3?
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep track here.
You're probably going to ask about 6 or 7 questions, looks like. 6 or 7 questions, okay.
Quiet on
Give or
set.
take.
5.
I feel a retake going on. Welcome back to Seattle Insight. As I mentioned earlier, we are talking about quality child care in the city of Seattle. The city has actually been voted among the top 10 cities in the country for quality child care. Of course, that distinction did not happen overnight. Since 1972, the City of Seattle's Human Services Department has had a comprehensive child care program that works to improve the quality of child care for all the city's children, as well as providing some subsidies and help for families who are having a difficult time paying for high-quality child care. My guest today, who will be covering some of these issues as well as giving us some tips on what to look for in quality child care, include Dr. Deborah Sullivan from Pacific Oaks College Northwest. Thank you for joining me.
Sure, you're welcome.
Also joining me today is Ben Knox. You're with the City of Seattle's Human Services Department. You're the director there.
Yes.
Thank you for joining me. And Garrison Kurtz with the Foundation for Early Learning. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
I've got this full panel of experts on all of the great issues of childcare. We're going to be talking about what constitutes quality childcare, but to find that out, we kind of went out to a center that's known for having some very nice programs for young children. And here's what we found out there. La Escuelita is one of many Seattle area daycares providing a great learning environment for young children. Every activity is geared towards improving linguistic, cognitive, emotional, and social skills.
You did it! Great job!
Experts say the first 5 years are critical to a child's growth and development, which is why many parents work hard to find the right place for their child.
My husband and I really wanted to find a place where she would be feeling like it was home to her, and she would be supported in her culture, in her language. And we wanted to feel comfortable. We wanted to leave her somewhere where we weren't going to worry about her while we were away from her for the entire day. So to us, La Escuelita was that place.
I called the child care resource information line, and I got like probably 50 different places and names because I live in South Seattle, but I work at the university, so I was looking near home and I was looking here, and